Hi all, myself Melvin Vargas, currently working as data engineer for an IT firm. Today I would like to present you a project which I recently developed, that is data pipeline using Snowflake Internal Stage. In this video, I would like to cover what is this project about, technology used in this project, live demo, if possible, basic code walkthrough. Agenda of this project is learning data ingestion to Snowflake using internal stage, automate a pipeline to load the data to Snowflake, implementing incremental load of data. Incremental load in the sense only the delta changes are ingested to the target table. To implement incremental load, metadata driven approach is taken. In upcoming slides, I shall explain in detail about metadata driven approach. Technology used are Python, Snowflake, MySQL, and Airflow. Python is the core language in this project. Snowflake is the target or destination database. MySQL is the source database. Airflow is for orchestration. In this project, focus on developing a robust data ingestion pipeline from a MySQL database to Snowflake, utilizing the Snowflake internal stage and orchestration with Airflow. In this process, we are using incremental data fashion of loading the data using metadata driven approach. In MySQL database, that's nothing but source data. We will be migrating two tables that are Amazon Books and Amazon Book Reviews. Columns for Amazon Books are book ID, book title, book amount, book author, book rating, book link, business date. The primary key for Amazon Book is book ID. For columns for Amazon Book Reviews are book ID. The book ID is nothing but a foreign key of Amazon Books. Other columns are reviewer name, rating, review title, review content, reviewed on, business date. The primary key for Amazon Book Reviews are combination of book ID, reviewer name, and business date. For generating the source data, I have developed another pipeline using web scraping. If you are interested to know how the data is generated in MySQL database using web scraping, link is mentioned in the description. Please do refer the video. There is a detailed explanation regarding it. As I said in earlier slides regarding implementing or implementation of incremental load, I have used metadata driven approach. In Snowflake, I have created config schema inside the Amazon Books database. There is a table named table config inside config schema which contains column table name and last extract date. Whenever a data ingestion happens, we update the table config. There is an entry for every table that is ingested in this database. Whenever a new ingestion happens to table, we get the last extract date from the table config for the respective table entry. We fetch only those record that is greater than the last extract date. Last extract date. As a result, we fetch only the latest records, that is nothing but delta changes, and ingest to Snowflake table. We'll be using primary keys to override the data. As a result, we are storing in another table, that is TBL primary key, table primary key. It's not a TBL primary key. So this approach is nothing but metadata driven approach. So these are the details and config entry for Amazon Books. Here I have used permanent table. In Snowflake Enterprise Edition onwards, for permanent table we have 90 days of time travel. So that is what. So if you do not have a keyword, so generally we can create three type of tables. One is temporary, transient, and if you do not have any keyword, by default it is considered as permanent. So there are different levels of time travels in the Snowflake. So here I've used a permanent table, which as I'm using Snowflake Enterprise Edition, it has 90 days of time travel. So here I just pasted all the details where here I see I created name stage table. The stage name is Amazon underscore books underscore stage. File format is CSV, delimiter, comma, and option enclosed by double quotes. Here you see I inserted the config entries. One is table name with the last extract date. Another one is primary key. So these two entries is mandatory or required for incremental load. Same way goes to the Amazon book reviews DDL. So here if you see the table creation, I used a transient keyword. In the transient keyword, you have only 1 day of time travel. So it's completely as per the business use case, which type of table need to be used. For a demonstration point of view, I've used these two type of tables. So here also I just add all the details. We're creating a stage. Here also I use name stage. So stage name is Amazon book underscore reviews underscore stage. This is also in same file format, CSV, delimiters, comma, and option enclosed by this skip header equal to 1. Okay. So here also if you see there is an config entry. So config entry is nothing but like regarding the table and the last extract and the primary keys. As I said, for Amazon book reviews, the primary key is combination of book ID, reviewer name, and a business date. So there must be three separate entry for the same. Okay. Yeah. Now let's see the workflow. There is Airflow DAG for each table. In the Airflow DAG has different tasks. First is prepare data. You see over here, prepare data. In this task, it gets the last extract date for the respective table from the config table and load the delta changes into the local. The next step is load data to stage. So the delta change which is stored in the local are stored, shared or transferred into stage table. In the third step, load data to table. As the step says, the data is transferred from the stage table to the table. Here in our scenario, we are using the permanent table for Amazon books and transient table for Amazon book reviews. On successful of first three steps, in the last step, that is nothing but update config, the config is updated for the respective table. As Python is the core language for this project, to execute commands in Snowflake, we use Snowflake connector package to execute. Now let's get into the actual demo. Okay, now let's get into the demo. So I logged into Ubuntu virtual machine where I have installed the Airflow and the DAG is developed for internal stage Amazon books. So there is a dedicated tag for each tables. Right now I'm showing about Amazon books. As you see over here, the steps: prepare data, load data to stage, load stage to table, update configs. So these steps I explained in detail in the previous slide, that is workflow slide. Before executing the DAG, I would like to show you what are the data present in the source and destination. Now let me show you the source. Source is nothing but MySQL. Now I'm opening MySQL Workbench where I created a database that is named Amazon Books. Inside Amazon Books, there are two tables: Amazon Book Reviews, Amazon Books underscore books. Okay. So in this, let me show you for each business days how many counts are there. So right now I'm selecting Amazon Books and executing that for each business date wise. As you see over here, we have data from 27th February to March 2nd. So we have each respectively 16, 15, 14, 33, 59. So these are the records which are there in the source. Now let me show you what is there in the destination. Destination is nothing but Snowflake. So I have logged into the Snowflake UI. So here is the database which I created, Amazon Books. Inside Amazon Books, you have the config entry. Config entry is nothing but table config and table primary key. And in the public, if you'll see, there are tables: Amazon Books, Amazon book reviews, and the respective stages: Amazon book stage, Amazon book reviews stage. So before showing the business date count, I'll show you the sample data, how it looks like the data. So already few data are already present in the destination, that is not Snowflake. So I had already developed the tag and we were testing it. So there are the records like this: book ID, book title, book amount, book author, book rating, book link, and finally the business date. Now let me show you the business date in the Snowflake for the Amazon books, which is inside Amazon books.public. So if you see over here, we have all the date except 2nd March 2024. Here the last business date is 24th March 1st March 2024. And if you see in the sources over here, this is MySQL Workbench, you see the 2nd March. So once I run this DAG, the 2nd March data will be loaded to Snowflake. So now let me run the DAG and show you how the data is loaded to the Snowflake. Now the DAG is running. Let's see if you can see here steps. Preparing data is successfully done. Now load data to stage. Now state loading of data states was successful. Next is load states to table. Okay. Now loading data to stage is also successful. Now updating the config. Updating of table to config is also successful. Finally, the DAG run is successful. As this is small data, this DAG run was very fast. Now first let me show you the business date thing. You see, this is the previous run which I showed you where we had last extra date is first. Now let me run this. Now if you see exactly 2024 second, the data is recorded exactly, the record count is 16. And let me run again this in the MySQL Workbench and show you. No need to run. You see over here, the February 2nd March 2024, 16 records. So exactly the 60 new records got added over here. So this diagram was successful. The data migration to the Snowflake was successful. The same way I will let me show you about Amazon book reviews. Let me open to that. Yep, it's here. Just a minute. Okay, book reviews. Same way. Let me run this. So let me show you the sample data first, which is there. So this is the sample data. It has book ID, reviewer name, rating, title, review content, reviewed on, and business date. So let me show you the business date count also for each book reviews. So here also if you'll see, we have the data till 1st March 2024 and here record is 185. Okay. Now let me check it on the source data. In the source data, you see Amazon books review business date. Let me run this. See here, in the Snowflake, we had data only till 1st March 2024, that is 185, and counts are matching. Now, if you see over here, there is a data for 2nd March 2024, and that is 182 records. Now, let me navigate to the tag which is dedicated for Amazon review books. Amazon books review. So if you see over here, this is the one. So this is the DAG Snowflake Internal Stage Amazon book review. This is the DAG dedicated for it. So let me run it. Yep, I'm running it. It is also following the same step as previous, so I'm not going in detail explaining each step. Preparing data, now prepare data, it's running. Prepare data. Now load data to stage. Stage loading data stage successful. Next. Load states to table, update config on successful as all the previous steps are successful. Yeah, now you see this diagram is successful. As we see over here, for 2nd March 2024, we have 182 records. Now over here, let's see how many records are there. So far, 2nd March data is not there. Now let me run this again. Now if you see, there is a 2nd March 2024 data is already loaded and it has 182 records added. So this data run is also successful.